All righty, let's get it. What's going on, y'all? Long time no see. It's been a month since I've last posted. What's been going on? Pretty much what's been going on is I've been building. I've been building. As you all know, I do run a nationwide mobile notary service. And when you're responsible for handling estate plan signings and closings all across the nation, and you're getting constant orders that's coming in, got to make sure you're on top of your game. And so with the influx that orders that come in at times, it can feel a bit overwhelming. And with that overwhelming feeling, I haven't made it a point of focus to made it a point of focus to be consistent with posting on. Now, in order for me to grow this YouTube channel, I got to post, right? And so that's the funny thing about this. You know, I can't expect to get X amount of views and get X amount of subscribers if I'm not consistently posting. But since I have some time right now to record and post, I'm gonna take advantage of it. So what's been going on? Pretty much what's been going on with me is, again, I'm running a nationwide signing service. I have an influx of closings that's coming in. I have new notaries that's contacting me every day about joining our network, joining the team, and want to do business with us. So I'm very excited about the direction of where our company is going. It is a matter of continuously staying consistent and continue to be of value for our clients. So in my hiatus, what I've been doing is observing. And that's, as entrepreneur, notary entrepreneur, you always want to be in tune with what's going on in the notary industry. So seeing what other signing services are doing, what notaries are doing, what kind of marketing strategies are being done, what's kind of like what the landscape looks like, what's going on, right? And one of the main things I've been seeing, it's kind of hard to get away from, is notaries complaining about signing services. Um, some things will never change. I've been in the business since 2018, and I've yet to see a year. I've yet to see a year where notaries don't complain about signing services. And one of the main things that notaries often talk about, or what they want to know, is what do signing companies do? Why are they taking the majority of the fee when us, the notary, are the ones that's being hired, and we're the ones that's doing the majority of the work? And that's a valid question. That's a valid question. If you don't know what signing companies do, and you want to know, me running a signing service myself, signing company, signing agency, whatever you want to call it, I'm more than happy. I'm going to be transparent with you today and share with you what signing companies do. And if there's a signing service owner out there that's watching this, I'm pretty sure they're going to relate to what I'm going to talk about today. Now, this is not a video where I'm going to be bashing notaries. That's not what I do. Because at the end of the day, as a signing service owner, I need you, right? I need you as the notary, because without notaries, signing services will not exist, right? So I just want to shed light on what signing companies pretty much do. And at the end of this video, hopefully, not hopefully, I'm going to provide a solution for you, the notary that's watching this. If you're a notary that's frustrated with working with signing services and you want to get more direct business, and you want to have your own book of business, independent book of business, I'm going to show you how you can do that. And I'm going to talk about what you're going to encounter when you do try to build your own book of business and avoid working with signing services. So for all of you out there, number one, and I took down notes as well, what do signing companies do? Well, the first thing that signing companies do is they market. They market their business. Oftentimes, I come across notaries where they sign up with directories, they have a website, they have a thumbtack, they have friends, they have the social media, and that's it. They're not they're not generating business. But then when a signing service reaches out to them for a closing, and that closing may only pay 75 or either 85 bucks, sometimes $65, that same notary gets frustrated, and they're sitting there wondering, why is it that you're offering me $65 or $75 for a closing where I got to print out 100 and so pages. I have to drive to the client. I have to scan back these documents, and then I have to drop off these documents at FedEx. Oh, and I have to wait potentially 30 to 45 days to get paid. Why should I have to do that? And you, as a notary, you have the choice to either say yes, you either have the choice to say no, or you can also send a counter offer and see and hope for the best. Um, a lot of signing companies, signing service owners that I know are consistently marketing, because why? As a signing service owner, and I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. My job is not to do all the signings, right? Because if I'm having signings done in California, I have a signing done in Tennessee or whatever state I am, I can only do so many things at once, right? And my job, your job, mainly as a signing service owner, is to consistently generate leads. My job is to consistently generate leads, generate consistent business, so that way I can provide that business for that notary who is not willing to market themselves. They just want to just sit and be on standby and wait for some to wait for a signing service to reach out to them to see if they're available for business. So if you want to get more business, I would encourage you to be consistent with your marketing. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with notaries, and they're excited about, they may have bought the course and they finished the course and they're excited about getting out there and marketing their services. But as soon as they get punched in the mouth, meaning they've been going hard with their marketing for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they don't get the results that they're looking for, it's completely stopped, right? And when you're in business, you got to figure you have other notary services that's also actually marketing to the same people that you're trying to do business with. And oftentimes, if you don't have the what's that word I'm looking for? If you don't have, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but you have to be consistent. You gotta stay after it, and you have to consistently follow up. And I can speak from experience, because I do these things. Oftentimes, I don't get business on the first, the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth contact. It's usually been on the sixth, seventh, eighth, or even ninth contact where I finally got the opportunity from that client, where they decided to say, "Hey, we need a notary for the signing. Can you help us out?" So, if you want to build your book of business and you don't want to do, but you want to stay away from the signing services, you have to market yourself. And that's what signing services do. They're constantly marketing their business. All right. Number two, reason why the signing services send you and possibly are sending you lowball offers, or they're taking a good portion of the fee, is because they're taking risk. So, for example, let's say me, the signing service owner, I hire a notary to perform a signing. The notary performs the signing and they make a mistake, whether it's the title company, whether it's the law firm, whoever hired us, whoever hired us to do the signing. If that mistake is made, they're not going to that client is not going to call and email that notary and let them know that they made a mistake on that signing. They're going to follow up with the signing service, because the signing service is the company that's responsible for hiring that notary. So if that notary makes a mistake, that notary that the signer that client is not going to be upset with that notary. Well, they're going to be upset with the notary because they made the mistake, but they're mainly going to be upset with me, the signing service, because I'm the one that actually took the time to hire the notary, and I'm telling them that we have preferred qualified notaries that's performing the signing. So the signing service, when they take that, they're the ones that's taking on the majority of the risk. So when you take on the majority of the risk, yeah, you're going to take a portion of that fee, right? And so that's typically how it goes. Now, for you as a notary, right, when you are working directly with the client and there's no middleman in the process, and if you happen to make the mistake, then yeah, the risk is on you're taking on the risk, right? There's a chance that you're going to lose that client. Whereas the signing service, where me as a signing service, if that notary makes a mistake and the client is not happy, I end up losing the client. That notary is not gonna that notary is not gonna feel it, because that wasn't their client initially. So that's the reason why, that's what signing services do. They take on the majority of the risk. So with them taking on the majority of the risk, they're going to take a good portion of your fee. And again, if you know that the signing service pay, if you know the signing service could potentially be getting paid 250 and they're only offering you 75 or 80 bucks, you always have that choice to counter offer. And again, you always have the ability to either say yes or no. Okay. Another companies do, besides just printing out documents, notarizing, and doing those things right, is they have to find a qualified notary. Um, so when you're just the individual notary that's serving a couple of counties, um, when a client is pretty much looking for someone, they end up calling you and they say and they're asking you, hey, are you they're following up with you to see if you're available for a signing. For you as a notary, it's up to you to say yes, I'm available for this signing at this day and time. This is my fee, and that process is pretty simple. But what if you have a client? What if that same client comes to you and say, hey, I know you're based in California, but I have a signing that's taking place in New York. I was wondering, would you be able to help me out with that? And you, as the mobile notary, if you've never done business in New York before, or even know any notaries in New York, you're not gonna be able to help them out, right? Because you're only limited to your city, the county that you've serviced, and it's not much you can do. Whereas the signing company, where the signing company has this network of notaries and they have the ability to deploy notaries in different parts of the country and able to provide a qualified notary to perform the signing, that's what they're going to get that business 10 times out of 10, right? And so if you want to improve your chances of getting more big, building up your book of business, you as the notary may want to end up might want to possibly end up changing your business model to from just doing the signings yourself to where you're going to hire a notary to do the signing. And then from there, you're in a position to where you say, I'm not going to be like other signing services where they're offering 25 or 30 bucks for a signing. Because I'm a notary myself, I'm going to make sure this notary is well compensated, but while also make sure I'm profitable as well. So if you know, and the reason, and again, it's another reason why, not another reason why, but if you, in case you're wondering what signing companies do, that's what they do. They're able to provide qualified notaries for signings all across the country. Where for you as the mobile notary, you're only limited to your state and the county that you're able to do the signing. You're not even limited to the state, because if you don't have a signing service, if you don't have the capability or the capacity to find a notary in your state to do a signing where it's not in the area, then you're pretty much only limited to one or two counties that you're servicing. You know that, of course. Another thing that what signing companies do is they handle emergency situations. Emergency situations. So I'll give you an example. I once had a signing on Thanksgiving. Now, um, I'm not one that wants to do a signing on Thanksgiving because it is a holiday, and I also know I know there's not a notary around who will want to do a signing on Thanksgiving as well. But I had a situation where I had a client that had an emergency signing, and it was on Thanksgiving, and they needed to get the signing done. Now, in this situation, because I run a signing service, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to find someone to be able to do the signing just because it's Thanksgiving. But luckily for me, the signing it was about an hour from where I live at, and I happened to be going out towards like it was in the Bay Area. I stay about an hour away from the Bay Area. I was already going to the Bay Area anyway for a Thanksgiving event, so I happened to just be going out that way, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to find someone. And I knew if I was going to be able to try to find someone to do the signing, I knew that whoever I was going to hire, they were going to charge me an arm and a leg for the signing, which they absolutely should, because I'm contacting you to do a signing on a holiday, especially Thanksgiving. I'm not coming out. You shouldn't want to leave out of your house you shouldn't want to leave your family for 150 bucks. You're probably going to come in $100 more, probably 250, 275, and possibly 300. Mine, I say, you know what? I'm gonna just take on the signing and just do it myself. And I was able to handle that emergency situation. Now that's just a situation where I got lucky because the signing was in my area. But I had another emergency situation for a signing where the signing was supposed to take place, and I think it was in Missouri. I had a signing that was taking place in Missouri. It was a last minute closing, and we needed to find someone. I needed to find someone like yesterday, right? And so in that situation where where the title company doesn't want to go on a doesn't want to go on a notary directory, or they don't want to go on Google, they don't want to spend time trying to find a notary. They much rather will work with a signing service who already has a directory of notaries anyway. The only thing they need to give the signing service is just the day and time, the location of the signing, and then the signing service handles the rest. And luckily for us, we were able to handle that emergency closing and got documents signed. Now, if you wonder, you as a mobile notary, if you had a client that reached out to you for an emergency closing to take place not in your county, not in your state, but they need help with getting this closing filled in another state, would you be able to help them out? As a single mobile notary with no network of notaries, would you be able to help them out in that situation? And if you don't have that business model and don't have that network of notaries, you would not be able to handle that situation. And that is another situation of what signing companies do and why clients prefer to work with signing services. Um, and that's going to lead me to the next thing. Signing services solve clients for problems nationwide. So you got to figure, especially with because a lot of notaries, they get into this business and they want to do loan closings, which you absolutely, there's nothing wrong with doing loan closings. It could be a little bit oversaturated at times, but that's the conversation for another day. But if you want to do closings, you got to figure these title companies are providing services nationwide. I have a client, a title company client out of Arkansas, and they recently just had a closing in Hawaii. Had a closing in Missouri. They had a closing in New York, Georgia, all of these specific places. And oftentimes they have to find they either this is how the situation normally goes. They either have to spend time trying to find a note. They either have to spend that time trying to locate a notary to do the signing, or they have to leave it up to their either the buyer, or they have to leave it up to the seller to find a notary. Now, if you're the title company, that can be it could be a little scary. It could be a little scary because one, you're leaving it up to the buyer or the seller to find a notary who can do the closing, and they're not. And from my experience, I've come across a ton of notaries, especially in the early beginnings of my signing service. I was struggling with trying to find notaries to do loan closings and actually do it right without making mistakes. So if I was struggling with that, and I knew exactly what notaries need to do, imagine for the typical buyer or the typical seller, where they probably not even thinking like, oh, I just gotta look for a notary, and they don't know exactly what if that notary is proficient in handling loan closings, or have any knowledge or any skills of notarizing real estate documents. So for the escrow officer or the title company, that could be a scary proposition, and that could be a problem. So for us signing service owners, because again, we have the network of notaries, right, that's able to do signings nationwide. It's nothing for a signing service owner to go to that escrow officer and say, hey, I understand you may have closings at the top of the month or at the end of the month. Instead of your clients looking for a notary, you can pretty much just leave that up to us. We have notaries that's readily available, and that could save not only your client's valuable time, but it could also save your team valuable time from trying to find a preferred for your closing as well. And for an escrow officer, if they hear that, oh, you guys already have a team of notaries. Oh, you guys don't. Oh, only thing I need to do is just send you the client's name, their phone number, the documents, and the instructions, and you handle the rest. Oh yeah, we'll just go to you, right? And that's what signing companies do. They solve problems nationwide. You got to figure there are also estate planning law firms that's like this as well. I've said this before. Either the attorney is looking for a notary, or they're going to leave it up to their paralegal or their legal assistant. So for the paralegal, with their role in getting documents drafted and coordinating with their client to get this signing scheduled. They don't really have time for trying to. They don't have the time to spend to trying to find a qualified notary. They're going to go to the signing service, and that's what signing services do. They solve problems for clients that do business nationwide. So if you're a mobile notary and you want to again build your book of business, you want to get better fees for your business, you want to eliminate the middleman, you have to be better at solving problems. You have to be better at solving your problem, your client's problems. If you're willing to put yourself out there and market your business, if you're not willing to assist and being obsessed with trying to solve your client's problems, then you can't complain when you have a signing service that is willing to take on the risk. They are willing to market their business. They are willing to uh, take on the responsibility of solving their clients' problems. And then if they're taking on the risk, they're doing all these things, and they decide to send you a $65 offer or a $70 offer, like, how are you getting mad at that? How are you getting mad at that? Especially with you knowing the responsibility to sign the service. All right. You can't get mad at it because at the end of the day, it's just business. And you do have the choice to say yes or no. All right. And the last one I was going to talk about again, clients, they don't want to look for notaries, right? The signing service, what do? They have a team of notaries. They have a network of notaries. In our total database for my signing service, I have well over 1,000 notaries, right? So I don't have to, they don't have to go on Google. They don't have to go on Yelp. They don't have to go on Thumbtack. They don't have to go to 123 Notary. They don't got to go to signage.com. They don't have to go to none of these directories because they know they can come to me, and I have a team of notaries that are readily available to perform those signings for them. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, but I just wanted to just give you guys an inside look as to what do signing companies do, because I say that over and over again. What do signing companies do? The notaries, a lot of notaries, they just tend to think that because, okay, well, I'm printing out X amount of pages, I'm scanning the documents, I'm taking them to FedEx, and I'm at the closing table. I'm the one that's doing all the work. Yeah, you're doing the work. I will never slight you notary for doing the work, but you're doing a portion of the work. You're not doing the big majority of the work, right? Signing companies actually take on the largest load. Because again, I'm going to recap. They're doing the marketing. They're taking on the majority of the risk. Because you got to figure and think about this too. I forgot to mention this. When a signing service is hiring you, they're actually taking a risk. They're taking the risk because again, if they haven't worked with you before, if they don't know you, if they don't have no kind of relationship with you, they can't speak to your professionalism. They can't speak to your knowledge, your know-how. They're taking on the risk. So you can't get mad at a company that said, okay, if we never worked with you before, I give you this for example, right? So if I have a signing, and I'm want to hire a notary for the signing, and I've never done business with them, I'm going to send you a lowball offer. Now I don't send out lowball offers because I care about quality, and from what I've seen with lowball offers, because I've sent those out before, just to be transparent. And when I sent out a lowball offer and a notary accepted it, it's been hit and miss. They've either done well or they've done really bad. Either done really good or really bad. It's nothing in the middle. But I've seen that when I've actually made it a fee where it actually makes sense for not just for myself as a company to make sure we're profitable, but it makes sense for the notary, and we're both on the same page. The work has turned out to be good. But I say that to say that if I'm sending you a lowball offer, I'm going to send you a lowball offer because I don't know what your work is like, right? I don't know who you are, right? Because who's to say? Because who's to say that? All right, I send you, I pay you $100 for a signing, and then most signing services. If I'm wrong, let me know. But there are a lot of signing services, and I still get offers on Snapdots and signing order, and I have yet to see an offer from a signing service that paid $100. Now, only way they paying $100 or more if it's for like a last minute signing. But other than that, all the offers that I get are either between 65 and $80, and that's that, right? Um, Yeah, if they're going to pay you 65, if they're offering you $65, it's usually because they don't know you and they don't know what kind of work that you're doing. Now, if you happen to accept the signing, right, and you do a good job, right, and they know your work, they know your history, they know you're a professional, they know you check all the boxes, and they mark you preferred. When you send that counter offer for 75, 80, or $95, oftentimes the signing services are going to accept you, are going to accept it. Something that a lot of you notaries out there are not disclosing to other notaries, right? Now you may be getting those offers, right? But I know other notaries who get their counter offers accepted. And the reason why they get their counter offers accepted is because they do good work. They make themselves available. They're not a problem. They're not complaining, right? Usually when you do good work, the universe is going to return the favor, right? So again, this is for all of you out there that's wondering what signing companies do. Signing companies are taking on the majority of the risk. They're doing the majority of the marketing. They're the ones that's solving the client's problems. And oftentimes they have to make sure that the work comes back good, right? Because again, if the work doesn't come back right, if it's a signature that's missed, if it's a date that's missed, if it's a stamp that's missed, if the notary happens to no show, that notary that no show is not going to be responsible because they're not the one. That's not their client. That's not their client. It's the signing service that's going to potentially lose their client. So that's what signing services do. In case you all were unsure as to why a lot of them are taking a chunk of the fee and sending you a lowball offer. So my solution to you is play the game. Don't complain. Play the game. Play the game. When I first started in this business back in 2018, 2019, a lot of my signings, I worked mainly with signing services. I was doing the $75 refis. I was happy to get a counter offer accepted for $85, and I'm printing out 170 documents. Like I was happy about that because again, when you're doing $75, and on top of that, I was waiting the full 30 days to get paid on top of that as well. So to be at this point now to where I don't have to rely on signing services, I just became the signing service, and that was the difference maker for me. So for the notary that's watching this, if you're tired of working with signing services, if you want to eliminate the middleman and you want to get better fees, better offers for your signing, I would encourage you to either step out on your own, take on the risk of marketing your business, putting up money for your marketing, or you can also transition from just doing this being a solopreneur to a notarypreneur where you're going to start a signing service and you're hiring notaries to perform the signings for you, and then you position yourself to offer better fees to notaries as well. So I hope you guys got value from this today. I hope you are willing. I hope you got an understanding of what signing companies do, and I hope you are also willing to bet on yourself and go out there and do the work. In the meantime, appreciate you all for tuning in today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And also let me know what stuff that you guys want me to talk about in this business. I feel like I done talked about a lot within this industry, but if you feel like it's something that you want me to touch on or speak on, please leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to go through those comments and post a video about it. Otherwise, make sure you like this video. Make sure you share this with a notary who could benefit. And if you're a notary out there that wants to learn how to get into estate planning, offering estate planning notary services, definitely visit estateplansigningcourse.com. Check it out if you're interested. And don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. And because I have a signing service, I'm always looking for notaries to join our network. I don't have it on my video. It's cool. I don't have it here on my banner. But if you're looking to join our network, make sure you go to Stamper Community. It's on Facebook, Stamper Community, STAMPER Community. We're on Facebook. I'm always looking for notaries to work with, where I'm consistently posting signings. And I also have other signing service owners who post their signings in the group as well. So otherwise, appreciate y'all as always. Love y'all. Make sure y'all take action and be great at what you do. Peace.